Roisin Willis just ran 157.97 indoors. That time broke the American record and put her in elite company worldwide. But how did she run that fast on a tight indoor track? And what does it mean for world indoors? In that instant, Roisin Willis did more than win a race. She broke the American indoor 800-meter record and stepped into a level of performance that only a handful of women in history have ever reached. Indoors, on a tight 200-meter track where every stride is magnified and every move is risky, she crossed a barrier that separates great runners from legends. Running under 158 indoors is not normal. It is not common. It is rare air. And now her name sits in that exclusive space. For years, the American women's 800 meters has been deep, competitive, and unpredictable. Talented athletes have come through the collegiate system, the professional ranks, and the Olympic trials. But this performance felt different. It was not just fast for this season. It was not just good enough to win. It was historically fast. To understand how significant 157.97 is, you have to understand the indoor 800 meters. Indoor tracks are 200 meters long. That means 4 laps for an 800. The turns are sharper. The straightaways are shorter. Positioning becomes more important. There's less room to recover from mistakes. If you get boxed in, your race can disappear in seconds. If you drift wide on the bends, you run extra distance. The margin for error shrinks. And yet, despite those limitations, Willis ran a time that most athletes struggle to approach outdoors. The race unfolded with tension from the gun. The opening 200 was controlled but assertive. No hesitation, no panic. She placed herself where she needed to be, close enough to the front to avoid chaos, but patient enough to avoid burning unnecessary energy. Through 400 meters, the pace was honest, not reckless, but strong, the kind of rhythm that dares the field to commit. At that point, the race began to stretch. Some athletes started to strain. The pack thinned slightly, shoulders tightened, arms began to swing wider. Willis looked composed. That composure is what separates elite 800 runners from everyone else. The event demands a balance that is almost impossible to master. It requires the speed of a sprinter and the endurance of a distance runner. Go out too fast and you tie up. Go out too slow and you leave too much to do. At 600 meters, the race truly begins. This is where legs flood with lactate. This is where breathing turns sharp and heavy. This is where instincts take over. As the bell rang, the crowd sensed something building. The split suggested something special, but indoor racing can collapse quickly. One misstep, one hesitation, and momentum disappears. Instead of tightening, Willis accelerated. Her final lap was controlled aggression. She did not flail. She did not overstride. She lifted her cadence slightly, leaned into the curves, and attacked the back straight with purpose. Others were fighting to hold form. She was pressing forward. Coming off the final bend, the clock was visible. The barrier was real. Sub 158 indoors is a line that very few have crossed. It represents global class. It represents championship speed. She drove through the line, 157.97. In that moment, she became the American indoor record holder in the 800 meters. The significance of this mark extends beyond a single meet. It signals a shift in the hierarchy of American middle distance running. Records do not fall casually, especially in an event with decades of history and Olympic pedigree. This performance cements her status as the undisputed leader of the American 800 meters heading into the World Indoor Championships. There is no ambiguity. There is no debate. When you run faster than any American woman ever has indoors, you claim the top position. But what makes this even more impressive is the timing. Championship seasons are about peaking at the right moment. Indoor racing often serves as preparation for larger goals. Some athletes focus on building strength. Others treat it as a stepping stone toward outdoor championships. Willis chose to attack the season. Breaking a national record indoors shows confidence. It shows readiness. It shows that training has aligned perfectly with competition. The 800 meters has always been one of the most tactical events in track and field. Unlike the 400, it is rarely run in lanes for the entire distance. Unlike the 1500, it does not allow much time to recover from poor positioning. It is a race of calculated risk. Belief is everything in middle distance. Belief is everything in middle distance racing. When an athlete knows they are capable of something historic, they approach races differently. They do not just react, they dictate. They do not wait for openings, they create them. Her time places her among the fastest women in the world this season. It puts her squarely in medal contention on the global stage. World Indoor Championships are not forgiving. The rounds come quickly. The competition is international and ruthless. Tactical awareness becomes even more critical. But speed travels. When you have 157 fitness indoors, you have weapons. You can handle fast heats. You can survive tactical finals. You can close hard when medals are on the line. The psychological impact of this record cannot be overstated. Other competitors study times. They see splits. They recognize momentum. When they step onto the track next to her, they will know what she just did. That changes races before they even begin. For American track and field, this performance is part of a broader rise in middle distance excellence. The depth in the women's 800 meters has grown steadily. Collegiate systems are producing stronger, more complete athletes. Professional training groups are refining race strategies. Science and data analysis are sharpening preparation. But ultimately, it still comes down to execution on race day. And on this day, execution was flawless. There was no wasted motion, no visible panic, no late collapse, just controlled power from the first lap to the last. Records often fall when conditions align perfectly. Fast pace, competitive field, ideal track surface. But even when everything lines up, someone still has to deliver. She delivered. Looking ahead to World Indoors, the narrative shifts. She is no longer a contender, hoping to break through. She is a record holder defending momentum. The target moves to her back. That is a different kind of pressure. Championship racing indoors is ruthless. Rounds compress into tight schedules. Recovery windows shrink. Tactical games intensify. Athletes who rely solely on raw speed often struggle. Athletes who combine speed with composure thrive. Her record suggests she has both. The 800 meters is often described as a controlled burn. For 600 meters, you manage the fire. In the final 200, you release it. Willis mastered that burn. She measured it. She unleashed it at exactly the right moment. Crossing under 158 indoors is not just about physical capacity. It reflects mental toughness. It reflects trust in preparation. It reflects the ability to embrace discomfort without hesitation. When the bell rang, she did not hesitate. That is what champions do. American fans have waited for a defining indoor performance in this event. They have seen near misses. They have seen promising talent. Now they have a national record that stands as proof of world-class ability. The road to a global medal is never guaranteed. Championships are unpredictable. Tactics can derail even the strongest athletes. But if you are entering a world stage with the fastest indoor time in national history, you carry something powerful with you: confidence, momentum, respect. The broader story is not just about one race. It is about trajectory. It is about a young athlete stepping into her prime and choosing to attack history rather than chase it. When the gun fires at World Indoors, the field will know exactly who they are lining up against: an American record holder, a sub-158 indoor performer, an athlete who has already proven she can handle pressure and deliver under bright lights. Roisin Willis did not just run fast. She shifted expectations. She raised the standard. She reminded everyone that the 800 meters remains one of the most electrifying events in track and field. 157.97 is more than a number. It is a statement. And as the championship season unfolds, that statement will echo every time she steps onto the track.